Be me, 31F PhD in post-colonial gastronomy and food systems, currently working as a freelance dietary decolonization strategist. Basically, I yell at restaurants on Yelp for not having indigenous grain options, living in a converted warehouse loft in the Arts District. Rent is astronomical, but my parents cover the structural overhead. They call it helping. I call it generational wealth redistribution. It's the least they can do after raising me in a carnivorous suburb. I have a younger cousin, Leo, 25M. The bane of my existence, Leo is the poster child for toxic masculine consumption. Grew up hunting, fishing, obsessing over knives and fire. While I was writing my thesis on the patriarchal semiotics of dairy farming, Leo was in the backyard smoking briskets for 16 hours. The whole family worships him. Every 4th of July, it's Leo's famous ribs. Oh Leo, this sauce is incredible. Leo, you should open a restaurant. I bring a handcrafted kale and hemp seed slaw with 0 oil. Nobody touches it. My aunt literally used my slaw as a bed of ice to keep the potato salad cold. The disrespect is systemic. Leo just grins, wiping grease on his apron. Try a rib, Jen. It falls off the bone. I glare at him. I don't eat violence, Leo. That animal had a mother. He shrugs. It had a good life. And now it has a good glaze. The table laughs. They are asleep, sedated by sodium and animal fats. I realized early on that Leo was dangerous. Not physically, but ideologically. He represents the old world, the world of excess, of domination over nature. I made it my mission to save him, or at least neutralize his carbon footprint. Fast forward a few years, Leo drops out of state college, says engineering isn't visceral enough. He uses his tuition refund to buy a high-end dry aging fridge and a Japanese knife set. He moves into his parents' garage, turns it into a test kitchen. I go over there to visit my aunt. Aka inspect the enemy stronghold. The garage smells of seared fat and rosemary. It's intoxicating in a primitive, repulsive way. Leo is there, tweezing microgreens onto a plate of duck confit. He looks intense, focused, like a surgeon but for gluttony. Hey Jen, he says, not looking up. Working on a duck prosciutto. I look at the hanging slabs of meat in his glass fridge. It looks like a morgue for farm animals. This is grotesque, Leo. You're fetishizing death. It's preservation, he says, honoring the ingredient. Nothing goes to waste. It's archaic, I snap. The future is plant-based. You're perfecting a dying art for a dying planet. He finally looks at me, eyes clear, calm, no guilt. People have to eat, Jen. Might as well make it beautiful. He offers me a slice of pear. I take it. It's poached in saffron and honey. It tastes okay. But I know it was probably cooked in the same pan as a goose. I spit it out into a napkin. When he turns around, I need to intervene before he gets deeper into this culinary cult. He applies to the Culinary Institute of America, gets in with a scholarship. My parents are thrilled. A chef in the family. I see culinary schools are factories for abuse and ego. I decide to send him some reading material, send him PDFs of The Sexual Politics of Meat and Kitchen Confidential, but highlighted to show the toxicity. He thanks me via text. Thanks for the books, Jen. Anthony Bourdain is a legend. He missed the point entirely. Typical selective literacy. 2 years later, I'm struggling to monetize my blog, De-Easting the West. Traffic is low. The algorithm suppresses radical truth. Leo graduates top of his class. He comes back home to start a pop-up concept called Feral, focuses on whole animal butchery and open-fire cooking. It's the most pretentiously masculine thing I've ever heard. Local foodies go nuts. Reservations are booked out for months. He's charging $150 a head to feed people scraps and organs. My dad manages to get us a table for the soft opening. I refuse to go. Mom cries. It's your cousin, Jennifer. Support family. I agreed to go only to document the oppression. We arrive at the venue. It's an abandoned mechanic shop he rented. Concrete floors, heavy metal music playing softly, smell of wood smoke. Leo is in the center, commanding a team of 4 sous chefs. He looks like a warlord, beard grown out, leather apron, scars on his arms from oven burns. He greets us. Hugs Mom, nods to me. Glad you came, Jen. I made a special vegan course just for you. Patronizing, he thinks he can buy my silence with a roasted cauliflower. The meal starts. Course 1, bone marrow custard with caviar. Dad is moaning with delight. Melts in your mouth. I sit there, arms crossed. My course comes out. Smoked beet tartare. I take a bite. It's complex. Earthy, acidic, smoky, technically flawless. But I hate it because he made it. I hate that he understands vegetables better than I do. I hate that he forces them to mimic meat. Throughout the dinner, wealthy boomers are shaking his hand. Genius, Leo. The texture on the sweetbreads was divine. He's soaking it up. The ego expansion is visible. I need to pop the balloon. I excuse myself to the restroom. Walk past the open kitchen. I see the prep station. I see his master sauce, a giant pot of stock that he's been keeping alive for weeks. He talks about it constantly. The mother sauce. It's the soul of the menu simmering on a back burner no one is watching. They are all plating the dessert course. I see a bottle of commercial-grade dish soap on the cleaning rack. Eco-friendly, lavender-scented. I think about the animals boiled down into that pot. I think about the arrogance of mastering nature. I think about how he ignored my emails about labor unions in the restaurant industry. I grab the soap, squeeze a long, heavy stream into the mother sauce. The bubbles disappear into the dark brown liquid. I stir it quickly with a ladle. I walk away, heart pounding. Justice is served. I go back to the table. Dessert is served. Tallow ice cream with bacon crumble. I decline. We leave next day. My phone blows up. Family group chat is in chaos. Leo's pop-up is closed. Disaster in the kitchen. Apparently, the staff meal was a soup made from the stock. Everyone got sick, not physically ill, but the taste. Leo tasted the stock before service for the next night, realized the entire batch was ruined. Soap. Chemicals. He had to dump 40 gallons of liquid gold. He couldn't prep for the weekend, had to cancel 200 reservations. Investors got spooked, thought it was sabotage or incompetence. Rumors started that he had disgruntled staff. The momentum died. Farrell closed before it officially opened. Leo is devastated. I go over to comfort my aunt. Leo is in the backyard, staring at a cold grill. He looks smaller. Defeated. I don't know what happened, he whispers. I tasted it an hour before. It was perfect. Maybe it's a sign, I say, putting a hand on his shoulder. Maybe the universe is telling you that this path is unsustainable. Restaurants are ego traps, Leo. You were flying too close to the sun. He looks at me, eyes red. I put everything into that stock, Jen. Months of work. It's just soup, Leo. Real life is out here, not in a kitchen. He doesn't say anything. He sells the equipment, moves into a small apartment, gets a job at a corporate chain restaurant managing inventory, soul-crushing work, spreadsheets, frozen patties, microwave timers. I feel a sense of grim satisfaction. I saved him from the volatility of the chef life. I humbled him. Now he can be a normal, functioning member of society. Maybe now he'll read my blog, The Quiet Years. I continue my activism. Start a podcast called Digest the Power, gets about 40 listeners, mostly hate listeners from 4chan. I don't care, I'm speaking truth. Leo is a ghost. He shows up to Thanksgiving but he doesn't cook. He brings store-bought rolls. He looks tired, gained weight, weary eyes. My dad asks, "When are you gonna fire up the smoker again, Leo?" Leo forces a smile. "Not really into it anymore, Uncle Bob. Too much hassle." I nod approvingly. Leo is focusing on work-life balance now, Dad. Let him be. I honestly thought I fixed him. I thought I extracted the toxic ambition. 3 years pass, I turn 30. Panic sets in. My parents sell the big house. Move to a condo, subsidies are drying up. You need to find a steady gig, Jen. I apply for tenure-track positions, rejected. Too niche. I apply for HR jobs, rejected. Overqualified yet underexperienced. I'm eating instant ramen. But still, living with 3 roommates who don't wash dishes, I check up on Leo. He quit the corporate job a year ago. Rumor was, he went traveling, backpacking in Southeast Asia or something. Running away from responsibility, typical man-child behavior. I assume he's finding himself in a hostel in Thailand, probably paying for spiritual experiences. I stop thinking about him. Focus on my manifesto about the colonial implications of sourdough starters. Present day, it's a Tuesday raining. Standard dismal weather. I'm scrolling through Instagram, hate watching successful food influencers. I see a post from Eater Global, the most important restaurant in the world right now isn't in Paris or Tokyo. I click headline, Asian Bone, the primal scream of Chef Leo Vance. My stomach drops. I scroll down, it's him, but not the broken corporate drone, and not the chubby boy in the backyard. He looks still focused. Biblical, standing on a cliffside in Patagonia. Or somewhere that looks like Mars. Wearing heavy wool, wind-blown hair, standing next to a massive fire pit, the article says he disappeared to study ancient preservation techniques with remote tribes. He rejected modern kitchens entirely. No electricity, no gas, no running water in the prep area, just fire, salt, fermentation, and time. He built a culinary sanctuary. Tickets are $500, not for a meal, but for a feeding. Only 12 seats a night. Waitlist is 2 years long. Celebrities are flying private jets just to eat his charred carrots. I read the interview. I realized the modern restaurant was a lie. Leo says in the text, I tried to play by the rules. I tried to make it clean. But someone poisoned the well. My breath catches, so I realized I had to go back to the source. To the dirt, to the blood. He knows or he suspects, but it doesn't matter because he used the failure. He transmuted the soap incident into an origin story. The article mentions he's opening a U.S. outpost in my city. Of course, the homecoming of the prodigal son. I check the date. Opening gala is tonight. Private invite only. I need to go. I need to see this. I convince myself I'm going to protest. To witness the excess and write a scathing takedown, but deep down, I know I want to be near the success I want, a crumb of the relevance I put on my statement dress, thrifted velvet slightly moth-eaten. I grab my press pass, expired 2019, Uber to the warehouse district. It's not a warehouse this time, it's a renovated cathedral. He bought a literal church. The signage is minimal. Just a scorched piece of wood that says A and B, valet is parking Ferraris and Teslas, security is intense. Men in black suits with earpieces. I walk up to the clipboard guy, press, I say, flashing the laminated card. Jennifer Vance, I'm the chef's cousin. The guy looks at the list, Vance, he looks up. I don't see you on the approved media list. I'm family, I insist. Ask him, tell him. Jen is here. The guy hesitates. Wait here. He speaks into his wrist. I stand in the cold drizzle, watching beautiful people glide inside. Smell of roasting lamb wafting out. It smells like victory. The guard comes back. He says you can come in. Yes, the bond of blood is stronger than ideology. I walk in. The interior is breathtaking. Stripped back to stone. Long communal tables made of single redwood slabs. Candlelight everywhere. Thousands of candles, no electric lights. It feels like a cult, but the expensive kind. I spot him, he's at the altar. Literally, the kitchen is built on the altar. He's breaking down a massive tuna with a sword-like knife. He looks up and sees me, wipes his hands on a towel, walks over. He looks solid. Granite. Jen, he says, voice deeper than I remember. Leo, I say. I try to sound unimpressed. Quite the spectacle. It's just dinner, he says. It's a temple to gluttony, I correct him. But, I'm proud of you. I say it hoping it unlocks something, hoping he offers me a job. A consulting gig. Anything. Are you? He asks. He looks at me with an intensity that makes me squirm. You were right, you know, he says. I blink. I was? About the soap, he says. My blood freezes. I knew it was you, he continues. Found the bottle in the trash with your fingerprints on it. Not that I checked. I just knew. Leo, I start to stammer. I was trying to help, to wake you up. And you did, he says. A small, cold smile. If you hadn't ruined me, I would have stayed here. I would have been a mediocre chef making bistro food. The anger drove me out into the wild. The spite made me great. So, thank you, Jen. I feel a wave of relief. You're welcome, I say, smiling nervously. I knew you had potential. I just had to accelerate the entropy. Exactly, he says. He snaps his fingers. A waiter appears with a tray on it. Is a single bowl. I made something for you, Leo says. Special. Just for you. My heart soars. He seeks my validation. He wants the critic's approval. What is it? I ask, reaching for the spoon. It's a deconstructed broth, he says, made from the roots of invasive weeds, boiled in rainwater, 0 carbon footprint, 0 violence, 0 flavor. I look at the bowl. It's clear, lukewarm water with some gray sediment at the bottom. It's exactly what you always wanted, he says. Purity. I look up at him. He's not smiling anymore. Eat it, he says. And then get out. Leo, eat it. People are watching now, the investors, the models, the food critics. They are watching the chef scold the frumpy woman in the velvet dress. I take a sip. It tastes like dirt and shame. I put the spoon down. Thank you, chef, I whisper. I turn around, walk down the long aisle of the church. The sound of laughter and clinking wine glasses resumes behind me. I push open the heavy oak doors. Back into the rain. I stand on the sidewalk. My Uber app shows no cars available. I look through the stained glass windows. I can see his silhouette against the fire. He's feeding the multitude, and I'm starving. I walk 3 miles home in the rain. Get back to my loft. Open the fridge. Half a jar of vegan mayo and a fun jar of vegan smell. Wilted celery stalk. I sit on the floor, dip the celery in the mayo. The crunch echoes in the empty apartment. I open my laptop. Start a new blog post. Why patriarchal success is actually a trauma response. I type 3 sentences, then I delete them. I close the laptop. I can still taste the dirt from the broth. It's the most honest thing I've tasted in years. MFW. I created a monster, and he didn't even let me eat him.